Hi, this is Sam Kotera here with another Gain Grades video. For this video, we're going to be looking at note-taking styles and making the best use of the notes you take in class. And we're going to focus in on Cornell Notes. And the question is, what are they? Well, Cornell Notes are a two-column system of notation where your normal note-taking would occur in the larger right column you create. And the smaller left column is to generalize or simplify what you've written in the right column. So here's just an example of some notes from a GE World History class. Now notice the right column is about 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the page, and that left column is maybe 1/3 or 1/4. So in that right column, you're taking the normal notes you'd be taking from lecture. So I was learning about the Columbian Exchange in this world history class. So I wrote the movement of people, ideas, culture, animals, and disease between the East and West is the Columbian Exchange, in quotes, because that was the term we were learning about in that lecture. And then on the left column after class, I wanted to generalize the information I got there. And the generalization was just the term the Columbian Exchange, because that term kind of encompasses all of that information. The next note I took was diseases such as smallpox killed many American Indians. Europeans didn't know they were bringing disease with them. And that's to the New World. They didn't realize they were bringing disease to the New World, so to speak. And as the generalization in the left column, I wrote down negative effects of CE. CE, I drew an arrow to Columbian Exchange because that's what it stands for. So you use the left column as simply a way to generalize these more specific details. You want the big picture and the specific details whenever you're doing any kind of note-taking or learning. So the Cornell Notes are a really good method to do that. Also, you can then cover up the right side and test your knowledge, sort of like it's a pseudo flashcard you can really create with Cornell Notes, which is nice. You can just grab another sheet of paper and cover up that larger right column, and you can say, okay, the Columbian Exchange, what was that? Well, that was the transfer of disease, people, culture, ideas from the East to the West. And then you flip it over and see if you're right. So you kind of get a 2-in-1. You're not sitting after the fact creating flashcards for an hour. You can just use your notes themselves. So it's great for reviewing portions of content that simply need to be memorized. And particularly if you have trouble making meaningful connections between the content and your own life. If you're really having trouble making a connection between the ideas in class to your own experience, then in those cases just memorizing the information can be the best avenue to take, which is where Cornell Notes come in to great use. And it's really valuable in GE courses because you get a lot of surface information, but you don't get into the details. If you don't get into the details and you don't have the time to get into the details of these surface ideas, then it's going to be a lot hard to internalize them. And at that point you should just go for memorization. And some suggest using a small portion of the bottom of each page to write up a summary. So not only would you put key ideas in that left column and your normal notes in the right column, but you'd also leave yourself a little space at the very bottom of the page, as this example shows, to summarize all of those things you just wrote about. Again, I want to encourage you to check out www.gaingradesnow.com. You can sign up for the Gain Grades newsletter and receive other useful tips for efficiency in college. This is Sam Kotera again. Thank you for watching.